Okie dokie, so the first thing I'm doing, I take a size 12 nymph hook or buzzer hook. It's a heavy wire, although you can choose a wire of your choice. I suppose it's not really that important. Depends how you want it in the water, how fast you want it to sink. And I'm taking just a wee bead head, and ideally it would be a gold bead head, but I do not have any, so I'm going with white. Now I want to take some thread. The colour is not super important, but you could go with a sort of a more white colour if you wanted to keep everything blended nice, or if you're using a golden bead head, you could use a more yellow or gold. I'm going to wrap this quite far back down the hook, I think. I'm going to go to about there. And I'm going to take a couple strands of pheasant tail, and that's going to be a wee tail for me. Just line them up, trim off the shitty bits. And I want this maybe about 1 centimetre or so out the back of the fly. Don't want it too big, but I also don't want it too wee. Just going to start getting this a wee bit secured in. Now what I would suggest doing is maybe just putting a wrap or two and then double checking your length and everything and then going to secure it. But I had too much faith in myself there and just sent it. Now you're going to want a rib for this fly. And I think I'm going to go today with, I'd like something thin, maybe an extra fine gold wire, wee spot of that. You don't need much, it's just to create a nice wee ribbon. Get that tied in. Make sure it's nice and secure. And then I'm just going to run up and down the fly once more. You really don't need to, but I'm going to. Does need to be neat and tidy as we're going to dub it, and that's going to keep everything nice and neat. So I'm going to take some Hares ear dubbing. This is the stuff I'm using, and just get that dubbed on. And of course, always use less than you think, as you can always add more later, and taking it off is more a pain in the bottom. Could probably do with that being a bit thinner, but we shall see. Might be fine. I'm just going to start that right at the bottom. You of course want a nice taper. Now that's not looking fantastic, but I am going to try this time with the fly a bit thicker, as I usually tie it quite a thin and small fly. But if we don't experiment with these things, we don't know the best way to fish. So I'm going to tie this one quite large. And just before I secure that in, I'm going to take my ribbon. Now of course I've been tying it this way, so I'm going to take the ribbing and go the opposite way. So just wrap that in the opposite direction. And this is creating a little bit of segmentation, not too much. Of course, you'll be hard done by to find a buzzer or a nymph in the wild that does not have any segmenting. So it's always a good idea to do that for your flies. I can never helicopter this stuff off because it's always bloody slippy. but just give it a wee tug. And there we go. Now that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to sort of have a look at how this is all sitting. And I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. So, I'm going to take a wee drop of super glue just onto the thread. Honestly, not much, just a tiny wee bit. That's just going to secure everything in. And go quite in close to the head. And take my whip finisher. Just 3 wraps. Make sure it's nice and tight. Throw away the excess. Boom, simple as you like. Hare's ear. Easy, ready to fish.